guys. As you already know, I am Wanda. This is my first episode. So welcome to my first episode. I'm very excited about this journey that I'm taking on. It's truly something that I've been wanting to do for many years now. I've always wanted to help people, just, always felt very misunderstood and, childhood trauma and all that sort of stuff, and it's something that I've always desired. And it is, as some people may call it, my calling, to be able to go ahead and help as many people as possible in their life. But most importantly, I was able to narrow it down to mental health, the mind, your thoughts. So I've been able to everything that I want to go over, everything that I want to help out in, at the end of the day, it always leads to your thoughts. What are your thoughts? So with this being said, of course, maybe you saw the intro video, maybe you didn't, but I highly recommend you going there. So let's go ahead and get straight to it. This is the first episode. I purposely didn't start January 1st because I wanted to give you guys some time. You guys have your own goals, you have your own things that you have set in mind already, and you know what, go towards that, because I know that towards the second week, that's when things start to get a little hard, right? Like that's where discipline has to kick in. That's where you're like, all right, I'm really gonna stick with this, type of thing. And that's me now. I'm chiming into that, right? I'm chiming into that. So the reason this first episode is it's touching base on what the channel will be about in a way. It's going a little bit into details as well. So just to kind of go ahead and go, again, a lot of these videos, this is how I talk, okay? If you don't like how I talk, if you don't like how I express myself, then this channel is not for you. I understand that some people get pet peeve when they hear people say, and that's fine. I understand that. I say, a lot. So you're going to be picking up on things. And I hope that's not a turn off, but if it is, then it's okay. You can find someone else, which I'm hoping that and I've heard a lot of other mental illness channels out there as well. So I highly recommend, regardless whether you stick around or not. I hope that I'm able to bring some joy into your life, and let's get to it. All right. So I'm a little bit of a geek. I like to know things. I like to know the why of things. And for me, I find it so fascinating how powerful thoughts can be. It's literally us commanding our own brain, our own vessel, right? What we live in. Like this is what we live in every day. And we literally have the power to command our brains to release certain chemicals that alter our mood, alter our whether we're hungry or not, or it's to me it's truly fascinating. So the fact that there are certain chemicals, so just to take it easy, right? Basic. They say that there's 4 happy chemicals. So you have the dopamine, serotonin. And again, I'm not a scientist. I always fully disclose. I'm not an expert. I'm not licensed. I don't have any schooling in this. This is just literally me reading, interpreting it, understanding it, right? Going through this little brain of mine and then putting it out there and sharing with you what I understood Now, at the end of the day, don't hold me accountable for anything that may be wrong. And please educate me. If there's anything that I say that's wrong in there and you're like, Wanda, this chemical actually doesn't do this, or please leave it on the comments. All right. So when you think positive, when you put in your mind, I can do it, you are telling your body, you are literally training your brain, which enhances your brain connects to your mind, and your mind sends out chemicals and it sends out commands to the rest of your body. So if, for example, I used to do track, I had this little girl. We were the same age, but we were kids back then. So we were in high school and she would run. This girl would run, and she would run like she wasn't even running. It was like she was just, I'm just over here, Yeah. You want a little sip of this? Like, she would run backwards. And we would be like, freaking dying, dude. Like, and I'm like, dude, how can you do that? How can you not get tired? How? And she always said, well, back in my time when I was a little girl, and my mom always told me, like, whenever you get tired, you just tell your body, you're not tired. Well, you just keep going. And when you train your body to just keep going, you're going to keep going. And your body is going to react. Every time that I'm tired, I just keep going. And that has always stuck with me. And I know whoever knows me, and if she's listening, she's going to remember that. But it's just, that's exactly how it is. Like, that's how you literally, so if any time you're faced with a difficult, right, situation, and you train your body to think, I can do this. I'm going to go through this, as I like to say. Because I don't just jump through, I'm not trying to jump hoops. No, I am going through that problem. I am going through that situation. Because if it's something that's there and it's something that's hard and I gotta break through, then if I gotta break through stuff, if I gotta go through things, then that means that I'm gonna have a breakthrough. I'm gonna get stronger out of this. I'm gonna get better. So that's why I always say, go through. I can do this. I can go through this. So every time you train your body, you teach your body to act in a certain manner, right? Or in a certain manner, you're literally rewiring your brain. First of all, you got to unlearn a lot of things, right? You got to unlearn what is already autopilot, what is already a habit in your brain. So that's, a lot of people start making goals at the beginning of the year. You set goals. Some people set those goals really high up there. You got to be honest with yourself though, right? But also be kind. Because sometimes maybe we're trying to achieve something and we realize, crap, like my body can't take it. Like, based on my schedule, or like, it's understandable if you need to tweak it up a little bit. Okay? So remember, always be kind to yourself as well. We're here learning. You're here learning every day. So take it easy, okay? Keep going, keep pushing. Set your goals. What do you want to accomplish? Last year for me was healing. I wanted to accomplish healing. I wanted to finally be able to say, dude, I'm healed. All right, if it's healing, start filtering out your thoughts. So one of the important things here that I want to remember and that I want to point out, right? And I look this way because I have all my notes here that I write down. So I like to look into it. But one second here, guys. Okay. Well, I guess I will show you this as well. like I mentioned earlier about how we are able to command our bodies, right? How we're able to command our brain. Our brain then throws out certain chemicals. Those chemicals, of course, also have affect what we do, how we feel, and then, of course, it sends signals, commands to our bodies. What are we doing? So when it comes to that, I like to think about it in the sense of, what does it mean to you, right? The why. I'm always thinking why. When you're slowing down, you're able to ask yourself questions. For me, a compliment, you want to compliment me? Bro, go ahead. I'll take it. But more so because it's, to me, is you telling me already what I know about myself. Like, somebody's like, bro, you good looking, bro. You good. I know, man. I know. I like it. I like it. Look at my haircut, you know? Like, yeah, look at this dimples, you know what I'm saying? Look at my teeth, you know? Like, heck yeah. Like, I'm all for it. I already know. Like, and it's not like in a cocky, like, oh, I'm better than you type. No, it's just, it's taken me a lot of years to find myself handsome, to find myself like, dang, yo, I look good. Like, find maybe a type of shirt that fits me better, or like things like that. So when someone compliments me, what does it create? My brain automatically, whoop, dopamine, serotonin, right? Oxytocin, I think is how you say it. So it's endorphins, right? So those are the 4 happy chemicals. That's what it creates in my brain. I'm happy about it. It brings me joy. It brings me joy that you're able to see me how I view myself. That's what brings me joy. That's why I like compliments, because it's confirmation. But if another person gets complimented, and I know that there may be a lot of you listening too, you get compliments, or maybe at one point in your life, right? You used to get complimented. That was me too. Used to get complimented. And it was something negative. I would feel, I would want to hide. Like, my posture would just become like this, and I'm just like, I wanted to become like a little turtle, go into my shell, literally, because compliments made me feel uncomfortable. Like, first of all, it made me like, you're paying attention to me? You're looking, but I'm so ugly. But it was like, it would make me so uncomfortable. That's how it was before. So I had trained my brain that anytime, watch, it's the same situation, right? It's the same identical situation. We're getting a compliment, but it depends on the person, and it's more so about where they are. So if you're in a place where you get complimented and it triggers something negative, you're training your body. Anytime someone compliments me, it's negative, right? You want to go into your shell. You're not actually like throwing out certain chemicals, at least from what I've read. You're actually depleting your brain, your body from those happy chemicals. You're deducting, you're reducing. So that's what causes lack of these chemicals. It's what causes you to go into depression, you to think negative, your body to feel a certain way. Your body, did you see how I was standing? Did you see my pot? Like, I don't know if you're really able to see, but I'm like this. I'm talking to you. I'm presenting myself to you. And that's why a lot of people don't see. Like, they don't pay attention. You need to pay attention to all of that. What is my body doing? What am I telling my body? Because your body is not just going to stand a certain way or is going to act a certain way without being told. It receives messages from where? If you're just listening, I'm pointing to my head. The mind, the brain, right? Your body doesn't do things by itself. You are in command. You are the person that decides who you are. Literally, I'm saying literally, guys. Like, I find it so fascinating how much control we can actually have over ourselves. Like, I know the world, fuck, it's so shitty at times. And especially now, like, let's not go into that. But what I'm saying is, you have the power to really change how you view yourself. If you have focused all your life on feeling shame, right? There's a lot of people here that unfortunately have been abused. And I'm saying in every aspect, right? It doesn't have to be just sexually abused, which we're going to go into that topic later on throughout the channel, because that definitely does affect a lot into adulthood. But I'm talking about in every way, right? There's a lot of narcissists that they were first victims. And unfortunately, their own brain, especially like if you became a narcissist because of abuse, you switch. It's like your brain, to protect itself, it starts to create certain narratives where you're never the one to blame, because as a kid you were blamed all the time. You were told you're doing that wrong, you're stupid, how did you think of that, imagine what, boom boom boom, those thoughts just hitting you, and more so as a child when you're still developing. So again, everything comes down to the mind, the brain, right? But the brain doesn't just react by itself. You are in command. But the best way to do that is focus. Filter. Okay? When we focus on our thoughts, right, we are able to slow them down. When we slow down our thoughts, that's when we're able to filter them. So a great idea here, a great example that I had written down is when you go to the movie theaters, right? You have the credits at the end of the movie. Sometimes they go super fast, dude. You're not even able to read. You're just seeing, like, and you don't know what that says. But there's a lot of information being shown to you right there. It's a bunch of names. Hundreds of names just scrolling through, and what they are, what their position is, what they did, what the music is, who sang it, who composed it. There's a bunch of information going at you, going down, right? You're not able to slow that down. It's just a bunch of information just coming at you. Well, that's how thoughts are. So if you slow down the credits at the end of the movie, when it rolls down slow, you're able to read. Oh, then that one has my name. That one has my last name. Look at that. Oh, that's a producer? What? Like, you're able to comprehend. You're able to read. You're able to see what information are you receiving. So, in the same way, right? You need to slow it down. What I always recommend, and this is what I'm going to end with, okay? This one is a little bit longer than the rest. I like to typically keep it 15, 18 minutes at most. But what I want to leave you with last year, just for you to focus on, right? Focus on the thought that comes up more, or the thoughts. If you want to focus on one thought or two thoughts, then do that, okay? So, let's say we have the thoughts that come up the most. When I first started this, it was my self-esteem. It was my confidence. I didn't find myself beautiful. I didn't find myself handsome. I found myself ugly. I really thought I was ugly. I really thought people didn't want to look at me because I was ugly. And I didn't blame them for it. Right? Those were my thoughts. My thoughts. Those were not my thoughts, but we'll move there. So those were the thoughts that were coming in, right? I'm ugly. I'm annoying. Let's say that, because that's legit the things that I had to deal with and that I had to be able to overcome. So I'm ugly. I'm annoying. I'm ugly. I'm annoying. I'm ugly. I'm annoying. That's what kept coming up. All right. So filter your thoughts, right? What are the main thoughts that come into your head? Focus on that. Ask yourself these questions. Is this healthy? Am I being kind to myself or others with this thought? What emotion is this thought causing? What am I feeling? Let's just say these two thoughts come up, right? I'm ugly, I'm annoying. What is that creating in me? What is it making me feel? Is my body language changing? Is my body changing? Do I want to go into a shell? Does my stare, does my eyesight, does it point to the ground? Ask yourself those thoughts, okay? So, what is this thought causing, right? Is this healthy? Am I being kind to myself or others with this thought? Slow it down, right? That's how you slow it down. You need to question yourself. Because no one is going to question yourself like you can, because only you know exactly what goes on in here in your mind, okay? So question yourself. Question those thoughts that you've picked that keep coming up, okay? So, with every thought that you have right now that you're thinking, pick one or two, filter them, question yourself. Is this a thought that I want running through my mind? After you ask yourself all those other questions I said, at the end, is this a thought I want running through my mind? Okay? Is this causing any of the happy chemicals that Wanda mentioned? Or am I depleting my brain off of those chemicals? Ask yourself those questions. Okay? I don't know what you've been going through. I don't know how the year started for you. I know how the year started for me. And it's been balanced, I could say, because it's been the most beautiful start to a year I've ever had. And yet it's been the hardest start of a year I've ever had. At the end of the day, I always say the good will triumph. And maybe this world is mainly handled by the bad, you could say, right? But always try to seek for the good. Because when you do, you have peace. No matter what you're going through, you're going to have peace. And peace is more valuable than money, than riches, than whatever. And I'm sorry, I'm very passionate about this, but whatever the fuck you have to offer me, if it doesn't have peace, I don't want it. You can keep that shit. You can share it, you can give it, but not to me. Unless if it has peace. So let's keep working on ourselves, okay? You got this. I believe in you, okay? I know you can do it. We are powerful beyond measure. We are powerful. We are the commanders here, okay? So keep pushing, keep going. I believe in you. You believe in yourself as well. You got this. All right. Peace out. Peace and love.